You have a question?
Mykel, walk us through that sack on Saturday and just how it felt to be beat back out there and be able to make a play like that.
Man, it felt great. We got a great call from Shu, and basically he was going off the center slide, and I ripped the egg out, and I made a play, thanks to my teammates.
Yeah, Coach just got done talking about how a lot of teams are getting rid of the ball relatively quickly for you guys. First off, like when it gets to getting home, how short has the clock inside your head gotten, and how often do you want to jump up and knock passes down, I guess, and get to the passing lane as opposed to getting home because they're getting the ball out so quick?
Yeah, that's a great question. Basically, like when teams start to get the ball out so fast, like that's all we can do is get a better ball, get your hands up, and affect the passer in any kind of way.
How much have you looked forward on tape to this Ball State game? What have you seen from them? Any concerns you have?
Ball State's going to be another great opponent. They're a good team. They have a lot of experience up front. I believe every one of their O-linemen, except for the right guard, has played upward of 20 starting games, with 20 games. So that's a lot of experience. I'm really excited to play and see what they have for us.
Mykel, I feel like we're used to you kind of rushing more from maybe the 5 or 7 technique spots, but you rushed a lot from the 3 and more on the inside the other day, including your sack that you got. What does it mean to really be able to rush from either the inside and the outside as a defensive lineman?
I just feel like it's a great way UGA uses me. Like it shows all my position versatility, and like it allows me to get in and affect the quarterback.
Hey, Mykel, I guess I'd just ask you about expectations, and I know how the team handles them, but you're looking at your resume, 2 starts last year, but preseason first team All-SEC, and Nagurski list, and Lombardi list, and the expectations for leading the team in sacks. How do you personally deal with that? Does it motivate you? Does it keep you going, knowing, I guess, the expectations and the high potential that everyone sees in you?
That's a great question. I do use it as motivation, but I really don't look into it. Like I have high expectations for myself, like way higher than any of those. Like it's really for me. I do this for me.
You expect to sack every game?
I just said I got high expectations for myself.
How would you assess the defense's play as a whole? You know, they were 2 of 14 on 4th down. You know, you guys got 4 tackles for loss. Just overall, how would you assess, to you, how they played?
We played pretty decent, but there's always stuff we can improve on. Like we gave up a couple of explosives that shouldn't have happened, and there's always stuff we can go back to the drawing board and fix.
Mykel, what did you think you guys as a defensive line played on Saturday? What did you take from how y'all played?
It wasn't to our standard. We played pretty solid. It was plays, but there's stuff we could have changed and better played.
I was talking to Nazir after the game, and he said that when that they called you a mini Trayvon Walker, that he brought Trayvon over and compared you to him. I mean, what does it feel to be compared to a guy like that, especially by your teammate?
It feels great. Well, how he went and how he projected and how he's doing in the NFL, it's a great comparison. But on me and he's him, we're 2 different players who's going in 2 different paths.
You guys had a lot of moving parts in week 1, a lot of injured people, a lot of body stuff in and out. How would you say the communication was just overall between the players on the defense and the coordinators on the sideline, just getting everybody in the right place at the right time?
That's a great question. The communication has been on point. Like that's something we hop on by communicating, use our signals and talking, and that's something that we continue to work on every day here.
It seems like when you guys rush, it's very team-oriented rush. It's not like one guy that gets a lot of the sacks or even the stats. I think Trayvon's career high was 4.5 sacks and his first overall pick. When you get here, how much of it's not about me, do you have to like overcome, or did you come in already knowing that?
You learn that like as soon as you get here, like day one, this is a team, and everything we do here is for the best of the team, for the betterment of the team. Like we rush as a unit here. There's no individual me guys. Like all of us are team players and we rush as a unit.
You mentioned, me guys, but this year you guys are playing without a guy like Jalen Carter, who obviously did so much, made such a difference. How, that with him being not here, how differently do you guys have to play this line to be successful?
Really just got to play our game. Really just stick to what we do and do our stuff. We should be successful.
Either after the game or after rewatching the film of the game, what were some of the biggest points of emphasis that Coach Scott went over with you guys to improve on this week?
Basically just striking up front and keeping our man hand home and staying in our gaps.
Okay, we had a chance to talk to Mykel today. His journey, you're smiling. What's he like, just from that journey, and does he ever talk to trash and gets past you through the D-line?
Yeah, Muse, yeah. Nah, he's a great guy. He's a great athlete. He works super hard, and I'm just happy he really got his chance to shine.
Yeah, I noticed freshman Jordan Hall was in there with you on those rush packages. What have you seen from him that's allowed him to be in that spot where he's contributing game one for you guys?
Basically his work ethic. And how violent he is with his hands and how he rushes. Like he's a great player and he's gonna be real impactful for us this year.
What's the key to practicing and playing consistent, as you continue to grow? I mean, obviously, a lot of expectations like talked about, but how do you make sure you're meeting your standards daily?
You kind of said it already, like practice execution. Like if you go out and practice and ball out 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a good game. Like just show up in practice and you'll show up in the game.
Mykel, it feels like we saw Malachi, Tyke, Javon fly all over the field yesterday. How important is that relationship between you and the rest of the defensive line and that secondary for creating a really strong defense?
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, guys like Malachi were flying all over the field making tackles. How important is the relationship between you and the defensive line and that secondary for creating a really strong defense?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. So we work as a unit. Like the front helps the back and the back helps the front. Like they help us in pass rush situation by covering guys. We help them up front by striking blocks and getting separation for the guys to run through the lane. Like we work together.
Any more questions for Mykel? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Mykel. I'll be waiting with you.